Hey there, everybody. It's Mark Crilley. I'm here with message to my subscribers number 16. As usual, I'm going to be getting a little bit of drawing done while I answer questions from my viewers. This is going to be an illustration I'm going to put up on my DeviantArt account. Go ahead and put the text up there, markcrilley.deviantart.com. Depending on when you see this video, this illustration probably won't be up there yet, but I am going to get it up there in the days ahead. In any case, let's go ahead and get to answering some of these questions. Here's question number one from Today Ida. I hope I'm saying that right. And the question is, why are you only doing shonen style in your videos? I want to learn to do more shoujo-inspired art tutorials. So great question there, and let me sort of explain those terms for those of you who don't know them. Shonen is sort of the boys' style, typically action-oriented comics, and then shoujo is the more girls, again, typically romance-oriented comics. If you're familiar with manga, you will see that those two styles are rather drastically different. And, it is true that mostly the style that I use in my videos does not look like the real classic shoujo style. Let me go ahead actually and pull out from We Got Mastering Manga here. I did one page here that has an illustration. See that? That's sort of like your classic shoujo style. And what I've been trying to do in my YouTube videos is what I would call something between the two extremes, hopefully midway between a shoujo style and a shonen style, but maybe it is actually a little closer to shonen style. But I wanted to sort of turn that question around and ask my viewers, would you also like to see more of that classic shoujo romance comic style illustration in upcoming videos? If so, please, express yourself in the comment section. And you know me, I'm here to give the people what they want. You want more shoujo? I give you the shoujo. Huh? I'm not going to hold back on you. So just let me know, put that there in the comment section, and if there are enough people that want to see that, I'd be happy to do more videos in that style. Let's go ahead and move on to the next question. And this is kind of two parts. These two questions go together. First one, as you used to live in Japan, how fluent are you in Japanese? And yes, that is a fair question. I did used to live in Japan. I lived there back in the early 90s. My wife is Japanese, and I have visited Japan a number of times over the years. And so people may be wondering, are you really fluent in Japanese? Well, the word fluent is sort of a difficult term. I would never claim to be absolutely fluent in Japanese, but I'll give you a little sample. 今でも日本語で話せるけど、みんなわかんないから、ちょっとやめた方がいいでしょ? So anyone listening to that can maybe tell if it sounds like authentic Japanese or not. Just as a quick translation, I said, I can start speaking to you in Japanese right now, but because most people don't understand, I should probably stop. That's my kind of classic phrase that I use as a demonstration of my Japanese. But, it's, I sort of pride myself, to whatever degree I can pride myself, on the accent. I like to try to get the pronunciation right, まあ、日本語はね、そんなに完璧な日本語は話せないんだけどね. I try to get that sort of rhythm of the language. I don't know if the grammar is 100% correct. Again, in the comment section, maybe we'll see some responses to that. I think my grammar is quite a ways off, generally speaking, but I do like to try to get the pronunciation right. Here's another question, and this will be an interesting one to answer. I was wondering if you could share some stories from your time in Japan. It was the early 90s, way back in the mists of time, teaching English there in Japan. And I thought what I would do before I answer this question, I'm going to splice in old photographs of me in Japan back there, 1991 to 1993. Those were the years that I was over there, about 2 years and 2 months altogether. And so this is also going to have a double purpose here, because some people are always curious. What do you look like, Mark? All we ever see is your hand. We know what your hand looks like, but we don't know what you look like, man. So let's go ahead and show some photographs. This will maybe solve the mystery for some of you. Others of you have used Google image search. You know what I look like. In any case, this is showing you what I looked like, I should say, back when I was a younger man, around 24, 25 years old. But let's go ahead and look at those photos. All right, so there you see young Mark Crilly when I was living in Japan back then. And, as far as stories, maybe I can just tell you what it was like to live in Japan. I had my own apartment there. It was a Japanese-style one with tatami, basically one single room, but that was all I needed. A lot of snow in the town of Morioka, or Morioka, where I lived at that time, up in Iwate Prefecture. And all we had to get around, we teachers, when I say we, I mean the other teachers and myself teaching English over there, the only thing we had to get around was the bicycle. And so even in the dead of winter, January, snow, ice, all over the place, we would still get to work riding our bicycles. It was pretty comical as you would slip and slide across the ice, gliding through traffic like in some sort of cartoon animated movie. Watch out for the gaijin! Don't hit him! But yes, I have happy memories. It was just a wonderful time, and made a lot of friends over there, some of whom I still keep in touch with today. And I would greatly encourage any of you who have the dream of going to Japan, pursue that dream. Especially, my advice to you, especially sometime like right after college, before you get married and settle down, because it really is true that it's pretty hard to do something like that once you have settled down, especially after you have kids. So, very glad that I did that back in my sort of early to mid-20s. Let's credit, though, those two questions I forgot to say. The first one about how fluent in Japanese, that was from Brogy's Club, and the second one from Rose Blossom Warrior. Thank you so much for those questions. Let's move on to the next one. Actually, this one is also kind of a two-parter because they are related. First, do you do conventions? And I'm meaning outside the U.S., like Europe. If you would be invited to one, would you consider it? And that comes from Grievous444. Great question there. And yes, I try to go to almost any convention I'm invited to. And I was, in fact, just one time invited to a European convention. This will sound like a dream come true because it was. I was invited to a very small comic convention on the island of Tenerife, or Tenerife, in the Canary Islands, Spanish islands, just off the coast of Africa, and had a wonderful time there. That was like 2004 or 5, something like that. Some years ago now. But yes, I was thrilled to be invited and flown over there. I mean, that's the key thing. It's not enough to be invited. You need someone to fly you over there. And that's kind of the sticking point. People will often say, hey, like I got something from Australia the other day, some time ago. They said, hey, can you come speak at our school in Australia? And I said, well, I would love to. You're going to have to fly me there. And they said, oh, wow, we have to fly you. Boy, sorry, we didn't realize. We thought you were just going to be able to get over here on your own. And I had to, say, sadly, I can't, if an institution does not have the funding for an expensive flight like that, it is only that much harder for a single individual to bring together that kind of money without, taking it away from his family in my case. So sadly, I cannot fund my own flights all on my own to other countries. But if the day comes when someone is able to fly me over, I will, of course, cheerfully accept that offer yeah, you know me. I love speaking. In which case, actually, I should head on to this next question, which is from Johnny Eastland. Question is: I know you go to schools, but do you also make trips to college campuses as well? Great question there. Yes, indeed. I will speak almost anywhere I'm invited, and I have spoken on some college campuses. Those sort of invitations are a little more rare. I find typically it is, especially these days, middle schools, upper elementary, high schools bringing me in to speak. And, I have a whole other video about that. Maybe I'll put the link in there. By the way, when you watch YouTube videos, answer this in the comments section if you can. Do you leave the annotations on? And are you able to click on those annotations and go, like, if I put on the annotations, like, here's my video about, how I speak at schools or whatever. Are you able to see that annotation, click on it, and go check it out? Or do you watch YouTube with the annotations switched off because you find them annoying or whatever? Let me know about that, because that sort of affects my use of that. In any case, yes, I did a whole other video that sort of explains about my public speaking and so forth. But yeah, if you are at a college campus and you want to have me invited to speak, by all means, have someone at the school, someone officially affiliated with the school, like a teacher, faculty person, get in touch with me by way of my website, and we will make it happen. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, sorry, I decided to kind of zoom ahead in the process a little bit so that we can get a little closer to the end of the drawing as I do the last few questions in this video. And this one is a good one. From Blackwing03. How can a person know if being an artist is the right path for them? Was there a point where you thought it was definitely your calling? Well, that is a big question, and different people come at this different ways in terms of their careers. I think I always knew that I wanted to do something that involved drawing in some way. Now, some people, they're like right from youth, they're like, I knew I wanted to be an artist or a musician or an actor. I absolutely knew it. And I don't know if I can say that it was like that for me. I knew I wanted to do something creative, and I always feel, compared to a lot of other artists, that my approach is a little more scattershot. I'm sort of interested in lots of different stuff, and you can kind of see the way my career has evolved, so that I'm writing, I'm drawing. Now I'm starting to make these videos for YouTube, so that's a whole different thing. I use GarageBand, right, to make goofy sounding music, but I get into that. I enjoy that process. So I have always been a little bit all over the place, but I wouldn't change a thing about that. I gotta say, I love doing lots of different things, and I could never be that person who just focused like a laser beam on one particular skill and honed it to perfection. That's just not me. But in terms of, a point at which I knew it was my calling, it's probably sort of gradually dawned on me. I think as soon as my first comics started getting published in the 1990s, I felt, yes, this is where I am meant to be, telling stories that involve my writing and my drawing brought together, and that's why comics are just like the perfect place for me to be. But maybe reading between the lines of that question, if you feel that you're not sure about your calling or whether you are meant to be an artist or not, I would say don't worry about that too much. Try, especially while you're young, try lots of different things. And there may never be that big golden moment where the skies part and a beam of light comes down upon you. Ah, you were meant to be an artist. No, I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen for most of us. I think it's more of a gradual thing where you try lots of different things, and some things just are not right for you, and then you gradually, almost by process of elimination, come to realize, what, this is where I'm happiest, and then you finally settle into it. we got at least one more question. I think we have two, actually. This one from Toxic Kimmy. Besides your message to your subscriber request videos, do you read a lot of the comments on your other videos? And that is a fair question, and I certainly, I know that feeling of like tweeting to somebody or posting something and wondering, do they even read this? Am I completely wasting my time trying to communicate with this guy? And here's just the truth. When I do a new video, for the days, in the immediate days following the posting of that video, I will read pretty much every comment that is posted. I would say for 3-4 days or so, I am in there reading every single comment that gets posted. Now, after a while, and especially after I've posted another video after that, I can't go back and read every single comment on all. I have like 190? I'm coming up on my 200th video. I just can't go back and reread or, catch up with all of the comments on all the earlier videos. It's just, that would be overwhelming. So, if you are concerned about whether I see your comment or not, make sure you post it on a brand new video. That way you will know for sure that I'll see it. Now, in terms of replies, that's partly why I've started things like my Twitter account, which is twitter.com/MarkCrilley, or more recently, Facebook, which I hate. I sound like a hype machine here, but I'll go ahead and say it one more time. It's facebook.com/MarkCrilleyOfficial, because there are lots of Mark Crilleys in the world. People, I'm not the only one. So if you're looking for the real one that's associated with me, that is facebook.com/MarkCrilleyOfficial, all one word. But enough of that. Yes, I do read these comments, basically, when they are fresh and new on fresh new videos. Let's put it that way. Okay, last question, and this one sort of segues very nicely into the end of the video. The question is, did you coin the term, "I'll be back with another one real soon," yourself? I love that question. It sort of implies like I have a writing staff that might possibly have come up with that for me. No, that is funny how that's different phrases have evolved over time to become, my sort of catchphrases, I guess you would call them. There's always, I end by saying, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be back with another one real soon. There's always this little pause, And sometimes when I meet people, like at a library or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, Mark, I'm finally meeting you," just as a joke, I'll always say, "And I'll be back with another one real soon," just because I figure that is the phrase they know me for. Someone once said, "Put it on a T-shirt, man." So who knows? Maybe that'll be my next little venture. But so many aspects of these videos, like they always begin with, "Hey there, everybody, it's Mark Crilley. I'm back with another How to Draw video." You just get into your little grooves, and before you know it, you're saying "indicate" every other sentence. And of course, I have to do the blushies. Speaking of which, Mark, get those blushies in there. This is sort of like this is a more shaded in drawing, so I can't do my sort of classic linear. Is that right? Would you call them linear blushies, where you just do a whole series of diagonal lines? It wouldn't be right. It just wouldn't fit, people. On this one, I'm going to go ahead and sort of do real blushies. What is the right word for this? It's tonal. I'll call them tonal blushies. In any case, I think we're running out of time for this video, or we're going to have to bring it to an end. But I do greatly appreciate you having left all the comments. And thanks for your patience, because it took me a while to get around to doing this one. I have some happy news, and that is that Dark Horse finally sent me my comp copies. So I'm going to do another video maybe tomorrow or the next day, where I crack open that box and let you all share in the experience, which maybe I'm the only one who geeks out about, but the unboxing of the new book in the series. I am deliberately holding off. It's sitting there, tempting me. That box, mocking me. "Mark, don't you want to open me? No?" I'm deliberately holding off because I want you guys to share in that, so I'm going to be doing that probably at the beginning of my next video. But for now, let's go ahead and lay down the pencil. I want to thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another one real soon.